After more than 15 months of bloodshed, no rocket fire through the skies of Israel. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is now in effect. Hamas released 3 Israeli hostages. In return, Israel released 90 Palestinian captives. Eyewitness News reporter Kemberly Richardson is in the newsroom with details on the families finally together again. Kemberly?
Well, Joe, an extremely delicate operation, which even today, before the hostages were released, hit a speed bump. The handoff and pause in fighting was delayed by about 3 hours because Israel hadn't yet received the women's names. Once they did, things moved ahead as planned. A flood of emotions, families of the hostages who had hoped this moment would come but weren't convinced it ever would. Today, 3 women held captive by Hamas are back home in Israel.
We've had many difficult days since Hamas began this terrible war. We've encountered roadblocks and setbacks, but we haven't given up.
The women, who appear to be in good health, will now begin the long road to recovery. That will be a monumental task after being held underground in that elaborate network of tunnels in Gaza. Romy Gonen was at the music festival when armed militants stormed the event. The 24-year-old initially escaped, like others, hid in the bushes. The entire time she was on the phone with her family, had been shot and was terrified. Romy's last word was, quote, "Mommy." The phone shut off. Emily Damari and Daron Steinbecker are neighbors. Were at home in their kibbutz that October morning. At one point, Daron hid under her bed and, like Romy, stayed on the phone with her mother until the very end. In exchange for their freedom, Israel agreed to release 90 Palestinian prisoners, over time close to 2,000. Hundreds of trucks filled with much-needed supplies are now in Gaza as both sides made good on their promise to stop fighting.
And after so much pain, destruction, loss of life, today the guns in Gaza have gone silent.
You are not alone. Welcome home. In Central Park, the news was met with cautious optimism. This group has gathered in this spot since the beginning of the war. Over the next 6 weeks, Hamas is expected to release more hostages, a total of 33. The Bibas family is believed to be among them. 9-month-old Kafir is the youngest hostage.
Even if they are not alive, at least they are in heaven together. Amen. That's the truth. What can we hope? For the best.
And looking ahead, President Biden says 1 week from today, 4 more hostages are expected to be released, followed by 3 more every 7 days after that. By the 16th day of the agreement, talks are expected to begin on phase 2, which includes the release of IDF soldiers and a permanent end of the war. We shall see. Joe.
A long way to go, Kemberly. Thank you.